While the storm has been downgraded, it's still making its mark in South Carolina and now here in Maryland. Welcome to those of you watching on CBS News Baltimore and on WJZ TV. I'm Vic Carter. After wreaking havoc along the Gulf before traveling up the Atlantic coast, it appears we have seen the worst of Ian. But the storm did bring dangerous wind gusts and heavy downpours to South Carolina earlier today, and now it's heading our way. We have team coverage for you tonight. First Alert weather meteorologist Tim Williams is tracking the storm in the studio for us. Annie Rose is in Baltimore City, and Michael George is in South Carolina. Let's begin with Tim. Ian, of course, no longer, may not be a hurricane, but it's still not a wimpy storm.
No, it certainly is not big. It still has a pretty good punch with it, and a lot of it's just because it's moving so slow, a lot of moisture, a lot of rain, and now the winds are starting to pick up. Of course, Ian now, as of the 11 o'clock update, still being downgraded, but you can still see a rotation there, and the rain just extends all the way up past Baltimore into the Jersey Shore, really up toward New York. Now, this storm now, as of the 11 o'clock update, is still considered a post-tropical cyclone, 50-mile-per-hour sustained winds, meaning, again, that it is still losing some of its characteristics, but it will be downgraded to basically just remnants as we get into the overnight. But look at already the problems. Coastal flood advisories because of the winds along the western shores of the bay. We have wind advisories also until tomorrow at just around 4 a.m. in the morning. So the damage is just starting to show itself. And again, flooding concerns are a concern as well because we have 2 to 4 inches of rain that are moving in from now till Sunday. We'll continue to keep you posted on this. Let's send you right over now to Annie Rose Ramos, who is now talking about how the preparation for the storm is being handled here in Maryland. Hey, Annie Rose.
Well, Tim, the wind and the rain really just started to pick up in the last few minutes. I know it doesn't look like much, but as you mentioned, we are going to be seeing moisture throughout this entire weekend, throughout this entire state. And that is why officials are now warning of possible flooding in these dangerous slick roads, telling drivers to beware. Ian making its way to Maryland, bringing with it pouring rain and powerful winds.
I'm more worried about the roads.
Tonight, AAA warning drivers of the threat of flooding.
Tropical systems like Ian, they're loaded with moisture. They can quickly create dangerous conditions on the roadway. As little as 6 inches of water can cause you to lose control of your vehicle.
Carlton says he'll be taking things slow when he heads home from work Saturday.
I will definitely be pulling over. It's too many potholes, especially in the city.
By the time the storm hits this region, it'll have downgraded to a tropical storm after wreaking havoc as a powerful hurricane along the Gulf and East Coast, hitting Florida the hardest.
Damage is really catastrophic.
The Red Cross sending manpower from Maryland and the capital, 20 already there and 20 more on their way, helping and listening to the harrowing stories from the storm.
Folks who were trapped in their homes. There was one couple who told me they tied their belts together to stay together through the storm.
Governor Hogan says they're sending personnel to Florida while preparing for what could hit here, as events this weekend are being canceled, including Baltimore by Baltimore Festival, Fells Point Fun Festival, and Oceans Calling OC Music Festival. You can see here what's left of the stage getting whipped around by the wind.
This one's really, really bad.
And while Mother Nature is showing her might, many, including Marylanders, are showing their humanity.
There was one lady that we were talking to. She just said, "Thank you so much for being here." And I said, "I haven't done anything yet." And she said, "You're here, and that helps."
Now, Vic, for more information on how you can help people already affected by this storm, you can head to our website by scanning that QR code on your screen. It'll take you directly to a link. Now, also for free alerts about this storm from the state of Maryland, you can text MD Ready to 211 MD1. Reporting live, I'm Annie Rose Ramos for WJZ.